Welcome everybody to the Invincible podcast. Wasn't here last week, got dropped because of the Arsenal-Liverpool game, like, you know. But we're back. We're back this week. Like, we've just been talking to Marty about all his eating habits and all that, like, which was fascinating stuff. Like, you know what I mean? He's on the fruit diet at this moment in time. That's we can reveal that, like, you know. Me and Chris have knocked that on the head straight away. Like, we ain't having none of that, like, you know. So, but listen, we're here. We've just been on the back of just beating Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Now, me and Chris were there. Yeah. He was watching it, obviously, here, like, you know, Marty. So, thoughts on from you. I've heard from Chris, but me and Chris will talk about it in a minute. Like, but what's your overriding thoughts about it all?
First of all, Lee, I'd just really like to have an AFTV injury update. See how you find gentlemen are doing with your injuries.
No, I've got a sore knee at the moment.
So is it, what, a matter of days or a matter of weeks? Where are we at, Chris?
I'm not fit.
You're not fit,
Yeah,
so
not fit
that's it.
Is that from the sciatica it's in your knee at the moment? And it's painful because I've got it in my knee at the moment as well. Like, I've got to have a scan on Saturday, like, you know.
Really?
What I mean?
For your knee now?
Yeah, I think it could be like a bulging disc, which in the olden terms is a slip disc.
Okay.
But like, because my leg keeps collapsing. Have you ever read that? Where it?
No, I ain't read that.
So like, there's something not quite right.
So what, you're not available? You're both not available?
Yeah, well, not available for Forest.
Right,
if it was a final, I'd be there with an injection.
I'm at the moment like, you know.
This is why the new diet's coming in and the weight and the health kick. I'm worried that I might pick up the curse of the AFTV injuries.
It's not good, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So, at the moment, yeah, I'm out for I don't know, for the foreseeable, like, so see what comes back with the scan on Saturday. Can't go to the Forest game because I've got to go and have the scan.
Are you watching it back?
Yeah, I'm watching it and doing the watch log again. Like, you know, I went to Chelsea yesterday because I can go on the train and you can stand up, but like sitting in the car and all that, ain't good. It ain't good for a few hours. So out of the away games at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, the game last night. It was. Do you know what? I really enjoyed it as a game of football.
Yeah,
I think it's a very entertaining game of football. If you're a neutral, it's a great advertisement for the Caribbo Cup. I thought it was a great cup tie, taking away obviously the support for my team. But yeah, look, I think it was frustrating. We went 3-1 up. We chased the fourth, and we were a toe away from the fourth goal, which completely seals the tie, I think. And listen, we let them back in 3-2. No, I'm not gonna hammer Kepa, you know, but I think with Raya in goal, I think we end up 3-0, if I'm honest with you. Listen, I've seen Raya make mistakes, I get that, but just Kepa's not strong in the air, and I think that goal that he comes, I think Raya's just a better shot stopper than that. But also, look, Sanchez, I've said this about Chelsea, Sanchez, he's gifted Gyökeres, probably he's helped revive his Arsenal career. And, you know, by gifting him literally on a plate, that is unbelievable. Do you know what, Liam Rossinho, and how he came into the job, and I watched his post-match presser against Charlton in the Cup, and he said, look, don't get excited by the result, there's a lot to do. But he turned around, I don't really expect him to blame his goalkeeper, but I was like, there's nothing to do that. And I was like, Robert Sanchez was everything to do with conceding those goals, and that is the problem with him. He's a calamitous keeper. He makes a fantastic save with his toe, and he'll do that. He'll pull out a worldie like that. But
keeps him in the side, that save, I've got to say, unbelievable, but he cost them
corner flaps it. You know, again, I think Raya gets a punch to that, or a top goalkeeper, or a Donnarumma, or an Alisson. They get something on that, and that goes. And then obviously you know, you've got at that level, we're talking top Premier League, you know, goalkeeper. You've got he's got two hands on it, or you push it out into a safe area. But look, it was a fantastic game of football. I loved Martin Zubimendi, Gyökeres. I'm so pleased that Gyökeres scores his goal, and I'm so pleased he got an assist. And I loved that goal from Zubimendi, how he just dinked inside and then stroked it into the corner. It was just, it's beautiful.
Chris, I'm going to be honest. If my vet's goalkeeper, John, who's a good goalkeeper, by the way, made that mistake, we'd be hammering him. We'd be hammering him. Like, you don't expect that, like, you know. Forget about him though. But what about Kepa's performance? You was a little bit more.
I wasn't. See, I know perhaps I'm a bit soft, but I don't think he was that bad. Oh, he was at fault for the goals.
Yeah.
But he also pulled off some really good saves.
I think that as well. Yeah.
So do you know when they made it 3-2 and it was like a charge of the Light Brigade for those last 6 minutes? See, he didn't do bad there, you know. But I take it on board what you say.
Yeah, I'm with you. I felt he was okay for afterwards.
If I've got a criticism, it's the subs league.
Can I just quickly ask a question, if that's all right, on that note? So, both of you, who do you play in goal in the second leg?
Raya.
I've already said this earlier on. I'd play Kepa now in the 2 Champions League games.
Yeah, no. Who do you play in the semi-final?
And play Raya in the semi-final.
So that's the answer. He's had a bad game because you wouldn't. If he had a good game and he weren't at fault, you wouldn't be. You'd be like, no, stick him in goal again for the semi-final for the second leg. That's my point.
I think it's very difficult at the moment for a goalkeeper or any player in Arsenal when you've not been playing week in week out, come in and go right, and then expect them to be.
Played on Sunday.
Great, yeah, and he weren't great on Sunday. It was a mistake against Portsmouth in there like
trying
that.
to rectify
but
it.
I think at the end of the day, it's tough to come in there and expect them to be at the top level, perform. When Raya first come into the team, when he first come in, he weren't at that top. You have to work your way into it.
I don't know, Lee. I usually agree with you, but I disagree on that because that's how he dislodged Ramsdale. He came in and he was phenomenal, and we were like very quickly. We were like,
no, not at the beginning. He weren't.
That's how he
was getting
dislodged
stick off the crowd, wasn't he?
Yeah,
that was the crowd, man. They did.
No, he weren't. You know what I mean? You got a short memory you have, like. You know? But listen, I'm not criticising. I think like. It's tough. I do find it like, you know what I mean, like I massive compliments to Ben White. Ben White comes in and plays really, really well yesterday. So you have to give compliments when it happens. You know, Wanyeri I thought done well when he come on against Portsmouth. You know, when you ain't playing, I think it is hard for a keeper, and that's a pressure game for him yesterday. I don't think he was a disaster. Where I'm looking at him and thinking he's a disaster, but I am with you on that. When I'm thinking, if Raya was in goal, would we have conceded those goals?
I definitely agree with you on. Obviously, Raya goes in goal on Saturday, and then on Tuesday night against Milan, stick Kepa in, and then stick Kepa in for the Kairat game. You know, as long as the Milan game it works, to give him some game time. He needs some game time. 100%. Maybe in the next FA Cup round against Wigan. 100%. You know, listen, next games, but last night the importance of this Caribbo Cup is really, I think it dawned on me last week of how, and then the excitement for the game last night, and then watching the game. And listen, I just want to go and win this trophy. I know mixed reviews from everyone, but I want to go and win it.
I'll tell you,
we need to win it, man.
The only thing that annoyed me, I thought we played really well, but like Lee, I come out of the ground quite angry. And the reason why is that we've let them back in, and we were so superior to them. You know?
That's the thing.
And then the subs. Why did? I mean, why the hell did he bring Havertz and Jesus?
Yeah, I thought that was.
Why not bring Norgard on to stiffen things up and possibly bring Noni on?
Well, I look at that and I think that Arteta's looking at the bigger picture, trying to get players minutes and all that. But I'm with you on that. Like, we're 3-1 up. On normal circumstances, he was shut up shop there. But for whatever reason, he didn't. And I think it cost us a goal at the end of the day. I'll tell you this now, Chris, I don't know how you feel about this, right? Arsenal cannot lose this game second leg because psychologically, they have got to get over the line after this, because if we don't get through to this final now, I think it will have big meanings on us, because we should have, like, it's like our league form that yesterday, like, should have won and then all of a sudden it weren't great, was it? Like, we have to get over the line, like.
I think as well, if I'm honest with you, it looks like Man City are going to coast into the final.
Yeah.
We get into the final, we play Man City. I think that game as well, if we don't win that, we'll be playing City on the 18th of April weekend. And if we lose that League Cup final, going into that game, potentially, if our league form's fantastic, we could be in a position where, I don't know, potentially that we could go to the Etihad and wrap it up. But we don't get that.
I get that. But I'm with you on this, Chris. I watched that game yesterday. I've never sat at Chelsea for as long as I can remember and feel so comfortable. When they scored, when we was 2-0 up, I thought, like, this is going to be 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And it should have been really, like, you know, when they scored, I was so shocked by it.
I thought Timber, by the way, I know he had to play at left back, but I'm not a fan of him at left back, mate.
I'm not really either. I'd rather him at right back.
You know, and then that brings me on to Calafiori.
Go on, he's got a controversial this is going to be.
Now, I love him as a player.
Yeah.
But I can't have him
Being injured
missing all the time. Now, very controversial. In the summer, I would think about selling him.
Really?
Yeah, sorry. And bringing him. And now I understand why they're looking at Gay at Palace.
But is this...
Because he's never, not because of his ability.
I know, but it's the injury. But is this an Arsenal thing? Because is it just the way we play? Is it our backroom staff? Is it because you've got to look, Hincapie's out as well.
This is Hincapie's third injury.
This is what I mean. And we've had Saliba, Gabriel out. We've got Mosquera out as well. We've had Ben White out. We've had the old back line out. And is it something to do with the amount of intensity on our back? That's maybe why we've got such a good defence.
I don't know. Calafiori for me, I'm a big fan.
I love him,
but there is this thing of him being, you know, let's talk about that. Like, you know, I've never heard of a player in all my time playing being injured in a warm-up. I've never got injured in a warm-up. Like, you know, what is the injury?
What did you get? How did you get injured, Lee? Picking up.
I was picking up my toothbrush. You know what I mean? Like, but,
I never got injured in a warm-up, but I got injured picking up my toothbrush.
To back up, Lee, what did Arteta say about his injury? It was a strange one.
It's a strange one. And then what was it?
You never know.
But and then he said, he's doing really well. I don't know if you've seen his press conference, doing really well. And then he turns around and says he's out for weeks now. So I'm as harsh as Chris on this. Like, I'm a big fan of his, but like availability is a key thing. Like, you know, Nketiah's gone down. We've now got Calafiori, and what that does, it puts pressure. Puts pressure now on Ben White to play 3 games in 6 days. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it puts pressure on Saliba to play. It puts pressure on Gabriel now. Them
about
3
Miles. Where is he in all this?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think on Saturday you've got to put Miles Lewis-Skelly in, and you've got to put, you put Timber back at right back, but again, because I don't think you can play Ben White again. I think
that's the problem we've got in this game. I think at the end of the day you've got to say to Miles Lewis-Skelly, he's got to come in now, because I think for him to play 3 games, you know, Timber got rested for the Portsmouth game, so it's not like.
But the thing on Miles, he was good enough to play for England last year, left back. So but that brings up what Lee said. If you're not playing, then you're putting him in, then you're taking him out. You don't get a consistency. Against Liverpool, he was awful, wasn't he, Miles?
When he come on, and I didn't think he'd done himself any justice against Portsmouth, if I'll be honest. You know what I mean? But I think I think you're gonna have to play him on Saturday. I really do, because Ben White has been sensational since he's come back, but I want him available. So, like, you could sort of like, can you say to the medical staff, what is it like? Can Ben get through this Saturday game and then we can rest him for maybe Milan? I don't know, like, or.
I think. Do you know what? At this point, you might need to think about potentially putting. If you're not going to play Miles Lewis-Skelly and he's not really in the plans, and like Ethan Wanyeri, put them both out on loan. You need to go and get Mark Gay. It's as simple as that. Like, you know, him worried about not getting game. Everyone's like, where does he fit into this Arsenal side? We're not short of games. I mean, we are short of defenders, as mad as it sounds, even though we've got 8 quality defenders.
Put Saka back at left back.
Well, you could do, like, made a way. The other thing is, of course, like, you know, Miles Lewis, if you go and buy someone in defence, you could actually say to Miles, right, OK, we're going to let you go back into midfield now. Like, you know, I mean, I still think we haven't got no one.
That's his proper position.
Yeah, we ain't got no one naturally replacing Declan Rice. We ain't got anybody. And at the end of the day,
that though, Lee.
Anybody, if you're going to go and spend 50, 60 million pound on someone, ain't going to be as good as Declan Rice anyway. Who are you going to get? You know what I mean? Conor Gallagher would probably be a good thing. He's gone for 30 odd million, like, you know what I mean? And he ain't going to want to come and be a backup. No. But after he's been a backup at Madrid for a year, he wants to be like the main guy now. I don't know how you're going to do that. Maybe it is to bring in someone like Miles to just give him a break. I don't know. I am worried about Ben White. I thought Ben White was brilliant yesterday, but we don't want him to be in that same position where, because of the likes of Calafiori, because of the likes of Nketiah, it's not their fault. We know it ain't. to keep getting injured, right? It's putting pressure on it, like, you know, Mascara, like, you know, I mean, I don't know how long he's going to be out, like, you know what I mean?
He's going to be back at the end of the month. But even Saliba was a doubt for this game, apparently. So is Saliba near getting an injury? You know, this is.
Well, the good thing is Saliba's had a week off. He didn't play against Paul, so I don't know if I believe all that sort of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, funny how
you play Norgard at centre half, can you? But
yeah. Well, you wouldn't against Forest, so would you? You may have to against Milan.
Yeah.
What's your back for Forest then?
You're going to have to go. Well, I would personally go Timber at right back, Saliba, Gabriel, and then Miles Lewis-Skelly.
Yeah, case of Avenue, I think. Who's there? Will he be up against Hudson? Who would Miles be up against?
He could be up against
Hudson.
what's the player that was at Arsenal? What is
Hutchinson.
Hutchinson could
Murray
be up
Hutchinson.
against him.
Oh, they know each other's game like anything.
So like, that'd be an interesting match-up. Like, and I think like somewhere along the line you've got to say, look, I'm going to trust Miles. Like, you know what I mean? It's a big game.
I think, look, not looking too far ahead, Lee, but then you've got to look at the Milan game. After that, that's going to be a tough game, I'd imagine, against Foy. You want to rotate that back four. You don't want Saliba and Gabriel getting
because it's Saturday, Tuesday,
Who do you bring in? How do you, even if you bring Norgard in and say you play Miles Lewis-Skelly again, maybe you give Ben White some minutes, but the idea is probably to rest him. Then you've got a bit of a gap, and you kind of need to put someone like Gabriel or Saliba in.
Well, Gabriel would play 3 games in 6 days if he plays on Saturday.
That's what I mean. And we need this guy. You have got to think about the big games, the bigger picture. Like, you know, the Milan game, listen, of course it's a Champions League game, but we're qualified, and, you know, this is the ideal time to rotate. But who are you rotating with?
Well, yes, that's the thing. You say, right, leave these players out. You know what I mean? If Gabriel or Saliba's got to play against Milan, one of them's got to play.
So, on one end, we're overusing a certain batch of players, but on the other end, I've got players like Eze doing nothing.
Yeah. What do you think about that? Like, let's just talk about Eze, because I get a lot of people messaging me and go, "Why ain't Eze playing and all that?" Well, at the end of the day, Odegaard is the player. But Odegaard, I think again, like a lot of criticism for Odegaard. Yes, I don't think he was that bad. I don't understand it. I didn't think he was that bad.
No.
I don't think that game yesterday was a game for Eze to come on after 60 minutes. I completely agree with you, Chris, about not bringing on Havertz and Jesus, even though it's you bring on Havertz and Jesus, it's sort of what an option off the bench. It's unreal. I mean, you looked at our bench last night. I don't think Madueke was the right guy for last night. I think he gives the ball away. It can do at costly times. He's great at running at teams. He could have been dangerous and, you know, against his old team, but I don't think that was potentially the game for him. Eze, that, again, maybe not the game. I think against Forest, he could be
can I hold you there? Like, you say it ain't the game for him. Was it a game for Havertz to play in midfield as well? Like, I don't think it was.
No, I'll tell you what, I completely agree with you. Instead of Jesus, I would have brought on Havertz and Norgard.
Yeah, right.
But so why didn't he do that? Like, I mean, why? Because he didn't want to upset Jesus because he's probably in favour. I don't know. There was a big call that was yesterday.
I don't know. I think probably, you know, Havertz to strengthen and then Jesus, maybe we can go and nick something. Whether that was it, the intention. But I think if he brings on Norgard after bringing on Marino, you know, then if we go 3-2, then everyone will turn around and say, "Oh, it's because you brought Norgard on." I don't know. One thing I will say on that, I really rated Marino's performance. I thought he was brilliant when he came on.
He's been really good. He played really good against Portsmouth.
And I thought he was phenomenal again last night. I thought he comes on, put strong tackles in. That tackle against Pedro, mate, just went through and picked up a booking where he needed to and nearly got that goal. I think he's been a great
I thought he'd done really well. But by bringing on Havertz and putting him in the midfield, he had to take Marino out of there and put Marino back into another. There's too many changes. Listen, I know why Arteta done it, because he wants to give players minutes. If that was a league game, I don't think he'd have done that. Like, you know what I mean? But
he's not giving Eze many minutes, right?
No, he didn't get. You know what I mean? When's Eze going to play? It's probably like Milan. But yeah. I think you've got to look at it now and say, like, I thought Odegaard was okay yesterday, but okay ain't good enough now. Like, you've got to be at the top of your game. You play against Forest. You don't play well against Forest. You know, next taxi's on the ramp. You know what I mean?
If we're finding it hard to break Forest down, and Odegaard's not having, I think Eze would be perfect for that, because he could find. You know, they sit with 11 men behind the ball, and they're hard to back. I think Eze is fantastic. He's not like that much of a dynamic. He's a break the lines, get through the low block, put that little pass, chip it over the top, find a way to get through that team. So I think that will be a game, but definitely Milan as well. I think he'll be. I think he'll be perfect for that. Listen,
I think Daichi. If you offered him a point against the Arsenal, he'd take it
all day long.
Of course he is. That's the problem you've got.
Most teams do.
They've got, if they get a point, they look at that as a good result. You know what I mean? Like, I think the emphasis is on us to get. We can't be sloppy like we have been in the last few games. We've got to knock that on the head, Chris.
Yeah, I'm getting. People think, you're being a bit churlish, but I'm getting fed up with letting these goals in, mate.
Yeah. Do you know what? I do get shipping 2 last night and then 2 against Bournemouth. You're kind of thinking, is there some? Are we falling away at the back? Because we didn't concede a goal in the month of October, and we went with how many games without even shots on target, and it just looks a little bit.
That might be down to fatigue, because what we just discussed. Some of these defenders might be, for all we know, might be knackered.
That's the thing that you've got. Is you are playing them too much. Dare I say it again? Gyökeres comes off and we concede again.
Well, I know you can't argue with that.
You know what I mean? Like,
actually,
it's another one where he does pin the defence back and they don't.
I was so
so
pleased for him yesterday.
Yeah.
I know.
Because I've slagged him off big time. Because I don't think he's good enough.
I think we've all had a little goal in him, haven't we?
But sometimes if you're wrong, you put your hands up. And I thought he was outstanding last night.
I thought that was. I'm with you on that. That was as good. Forget his goal. Right?
No, but he's
forget his goal. But if he hadn't scored that goal, there'd still be a load of. Because he scored, and then on the back of that, the performance that he's played, his hold-up play, I thought like. I'm not saying he bullied them, that they was trying to bully him, and he was very, very physical. I like that, didn't you? Like, at long last, we've got a centre forward up there that's giving centre halves a torrid time.
Yeah.
They couldn't handle him yesterday. They in the end, they're grabbing him by the throat and chucking him down and all that. Like that tells me that you've got him where you want him.
Yep.
And I thought he was really, really good yesterday.
I thought after that goal, he picked it like it energised him, and it completely. You could see before he was like. The rabbit in the headlights, and he looked pale, and he was like, and then it transformed him. Then he was going, because before he looked slow and he weren't pressing, there was no intensity to him. But after that, it changed him. It released the spirits within, and, and he went on, and he was majestic. He was a majestic creature. Yeah, no, it's good, mate. It was good.
And when he scored, he was quite shy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that though. I like that. He
just slipped the sneaky mask.
Yeah, he done that. And listen, at the end of the day, I look at it and go, someone said, oh, well, it was a tap-in and all that lot. But you've got to be there for that.
And you've got to stick it in the back of the net.
You've got to be there, like, you know what I mean? And he done that. But a lovely little flick for Zubamendi. I know Zubamendi's got a lot more to do.
What a goal, though.
What a goal, that. But he gets an assist for that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really see much assisting that he done. Like, he just passed the ball 2 yards. You know what I mean? Like, but at the end of the day, it goes on his CV as an assist. And Zubamendi. By the way, how good was he last night?
He's just class, mate.
What a player! 50 million quid in today's market.
To see what Alonso said.
Yeah,
it cost him. It cost him his job.
Yep.
And Real Madrid the title.
Yeah.
By not buying him.
Is it what he said that already?
About that.
Whew.
Yeah, he did. He came out and he would work perfectly in that midfield. We took him any.
We done well to get him, considering Real Madrid were in.
I think he's a wonderful player. He strikes me as a wonderful. Did you see the interview he did on Sky with him and Marino?
Yeah, I see that.
And they come across as really lovely people.
Look, Marino, by the way, he's a lovely guy. I've got to say that. Like, always smiling, really.
I think he's got cult. He's beginning to get cult.
Yeah, getting cult status, isn't he? Like, you know what I mean? But I think he's actually a really nice guy along with that. Like, and I think
he's nice, but settling in.
Yeah, but he's got that, hasn't he? And he's settling into the Arsenal thing now. I think. Like,
do you know what? Did you watch the little mini brawl at the end?
Yeah.
Right. Zubamendi's way of how he dealt with that brawl, I think, was absolutely fantastic. You got Enzo trying to grab his throat. Well, grabbed his throat, and just the way he dealt with it, he let him know that he weren't an idiot and that he's not going to get mugged off by him. But he didn't. He completely kept his himself together, his decorum, and he was, I think, very professional. And the way he went about it, yeah, it was admirable.
I think he's a nasty piece of work, that Enzo.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. But do you know what was good about that? And if you go back and have a look at Ben White's just standing there, just waiting, like a predator, like.
Just being Ben White.
Just being Ben White.
Just doing Ben White stuff.
Just Ben White being Ben White, and I love it, like, you know what I mean. If anything was going to go, if he just stood there, just looking at it, like, you know what I mean. If it was going to get out of hand, I might step in. But, you know, Super Mendy, I thought, handled it really, really well, like, you know. And listen, he couldn't lay a glove on him on the pitch, and he couldn't lay a glove on me off of it. I just think it was really, really good.
Do you know what? I would love to see, like, a highlight reel of Ben White's housery moments. Just all like the goalkeeper's gloves, just a whole complete reel, 5-minute video of him just doing Ben White related stuff.
He done a thing in that game, I think it was in the second half. He was never going to win the ball. But he just thought, well, this is my opportunity to smash Garnacho, and he just done it, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, someone turned around and said, why did he do that? Because I thought, like, because that's Ben White, you know what I mean? Like,
how about he did one at Portsmouth, didn't he?
Yeah,
like, that bloke had the audacity to put the ball through his legs.
Yeah, spanking, yeah. I like it, like, you know. But do you see any problems for the second leg, or do you think, like,
well, it's a long way off. So you don't know what state are the two teams going to be.
Yeah, 3 weeks. Yeah, that's a great point.
Who's back? Who ain't? You know, but we're at home, and we should go through.
Yeah, and we like, you know, listen. If you'd say if it was a home game with no advantage, you'd say like if we draw them in the FA Cup, for instance, you'd fancy us because we're at home. You know what I mean? We're at home with a goal advantage.
We don't get beaten at home. You know, I think best way is they pick up a draw there. We've got to go and do the business. This final, it will be so good for the club to get and just go and win. Do you know what? I actually really want to win the Caribbo Cup.
Yeah, there's nothing.
I really do. I think it'll be really galvanising for the team. It will get them into winning ways. And imagine that we come out at the end of the season with winning the League Cup and the Premier League. Fantastic season.
The only thing I'm a little bit disappointed with is like when it was 3-1 and I thought it was going to be 4-1. I was actually saying, right, let's get the tickets for the. I was sort of arranging like when do they come out the tickets and I'm going to get me ticket and blah blah blah.
What for the final?
For the final.
Never do that, though.
Oh no, I shouldn't have done that. And then like when
he's going early.
Well, I went in early.
A classic example of that is.
Yeah, Tottenham, went in early. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, I can't plan nothing now.
The semi-final when...
I was there. Yeah.
And they announced, here are the ticket details for the final.
At half time.
And we were 2-0 down and we come back and knocked them out. Never, ever do that.
No. So I learnt my lesson from that. So I'm not 100% sure that we still go through this now. Like, I think, little things worry me, like, there have a few players back. That save at the end from him, like, made it, could, you know what I mean? Like, listen, we've got to be on point when we go there. We can't, when we play at home in that game, like, we've got to be on point. Oh, the other thing that disappointed me about it was a game where I thought, like, with all these big games coming up, like another game where we could have just made a few changes. I don't know if we can make that many changes in that game.
The thing is, knowing the Arsenal and knowing me, even if, say you went into that 3-1 up, I was still going into it nervous.
Yeah. Oh,
I think 4-1 though completely kills the side. I was speaking last night on the watch along to Christian. He was like, "Yeah, 1." I was like, "What for you? What score does it?" He was like, 1-0 straight away, and I was like, 1-0. He went, yeah. He went, we don't lose at home. He went, 1-0's enough to do it, which I do get that.
I get that theory
completely. But like you say, after at 3-1, I'm thinking, we're going on for 4 here, maybe 5. Even after the first goal, after 7 minutes, I was like, we're in for a treat here today. I was like, this could end up. And listen, we got 3, and it should have been 4, apart from Sanchez's toe. But I think the 4-1 completely kills the tie, and then Chelsea are just gonna, they're not saying they're not going to go and try and win it in some capacity, but they kind of be like, we're not going to go to the Emirates and beat, with 4-1 down. Like, let's be realistic. And I think their main aim, realistically, is to get into Champions League football for next season. Yeah, they need to do that.
Listen, I'll be honest, I was nervous going to Real Madrid when we were 3-0 up. I had things in me out. Yeah, we've been there before. I've seen this. You know what I mean?
For me, it ain't 4-0 up at Newcastle.
Yeah.
Do you remember it was 4? It was half time, 4 up, And then they scored 4 goals. What is this? Is this a situation now, right? Just go to Crystal Palace and slap 30 million quid down on the counter and get Mark Gahey.
You and I would, but...
Yeah, if I had 30 million quid, I would definitely.
I don't know. I
100%.
think I would definitely consider something along those lines. I look at, last season, and it's unforgivable, like, when I think about it, like, you know what I mean? We was 5 points off Liverpool.
In January.
In January, and we never done anything about it. Actually said, oh, look, you know.
I think, and I'll tell you why. You got that game against Milan, it'd be absolutely perfect for that, right? Then, obviously, you've got the game against Kairat. He's absolutely perfect for that. You've got the FA Cup game. He's absolutely perfect for that. And there will be league games. It's what I'm concerned about now is this rotation with Gabriel and Saliba.
Yeah, we need to.
And it's even when you bring Mascara back, you don't want to bring Mascara back and start playing him too many games. You don't want him breaking down injured again.
There ain't really what was the natural replacement for Gabriel? Would you say? Calafiori or Nketiah, like?
Yeah, either or.
But if you had someone like Gahey coming in there, like, it would be, you'd got no problems of believing.
I think personally he wants to stay at Palace till the end of the year.
Yeah, wouldn't you? I know that I would. All that money coming to me.
I'd want to come to Arsenal and win the title and win some stuff. Personally, he won the FA Cup last season. Listen, he's going to get picked for England. He's going to play for Arsenal. That's the idea. Yeah, it's not like we're just going to go and buy him and he's going to sit on the bench all season.
No, but at the end of the day, financially, if he stays at Palace to the end of the season, he's going to be much better off than if he goes now.
Yeah, because he'll get a signing-on fee.
We'll get loads of it. We'll get all the money that it would go straight with.
No, give him some money then.
But
it's not like he's going to be on short change at Arsenal. I mean, if he came to Arsenal, was he going to be on 150 grand a week?
If he was, I'm going to ask this question, if he was to come to Arsenal or go wherever he is, would he be cup side? What do you reckon of that rule?
I think it's mad. When did that happen?
I don't know. When has they ever wanted to change that rule? For all the years
Semenyo.
of cups, Semenyo.
The other day, he played for Man City, but he'd already played with Bournemouth in the League Cup.
Yeah. So Gahey, of course, is cup side, isn't he, in the FA Cup? Is that allowed now?
I don't think it's in the FA Cup.
Semenyo done it.
Semenyo played against Brentford for Bournemouth in the League Cup.
Yeah, but what about the FA Cup?
No, he's played in the FA Cup for Man City, hasn't he?
And he hasn't played. No, of course, it's first round, isn't it? Well,
now, if you're cup side, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. So then in the League Cup, he played against Newcastle, didn't he, Semenyo?
Yeah. Wherever that rule come in is the most horrendous rule.
Oh, it's well said.
You know what I mean? Like,
so Gahey wouldn't be cup tied then?
Well, he's played for Palace now, hasn't he?
Yeah, but so's Semenyo. Semenyo's played for Bournemouth and now he's played for...
Well, I don't know if it's the same in the
League Cup as the FA Cup.
But it's an absolute ridiculous. So basically, right, in theory, right, yeah.
Oh.
If you want to, like Ben White could sign for Chelsea tomorrow
and play
against us in the League Cup after scoring.
Looks that way, doesn't it?
Listen.
I just think Man City need all the help they can get.
Yeah, they do.
But football, in all the times I've been at football, if you was cup side, whether you're playing at non-league football, you're cup side. You know what I mean? One of the reasons was to stop that. Do you know what? One of the reasons they'd done that was because teams would, like, the bigger teams would go, oh, like, you're out of the cup, come and play for us and all that, like, you know what I mean? It's a ridiculous rule that they've allowed that to happen, and then he goes and scores. I just think, like, I'm not having a go at Man City or Semenyo when I say, I just think that if you've played for one team in the cup, you cannot play any other. Simple as that. So I don't know if Gahey can. Let us know in the comments if that is in the FA Cup as well, like, you know.
He'd play Champions League, though, wouldn't he? So.
Well, yeah, you can play in the Champions League. That's another thing. You can play in the group stage for the Champions League and then play in the knockout stages for someone else. Listen, the rules now just are there to just, I don't know. Football, the game's gone, lads. The game's gone, lads. You know what I mean?
Game's gone.
The game's
it's all
gone.
over.
Right, you know what I mean? So, big weekend, though.
Huge. Absolutely massive.
Man City,
Man United. Are you watching that game?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
You're going to watch that game before the.
So you got to hope that Carrick within 3 days to turn them into a winning machine. They got Steve Holland there, like Ben White's mate. So
yeah.
But you never know. It's a derby. You never know.
No, do you know what? Definitely with Manchester City, with their centre-back, there's the potential of the new the manager bounce thing. I know, do you remember in the last episode, actually, you said, because I said about Man City and Chelsea, I said that I could see them dropping points. You went, nah, Man City are going to
I never thought never thought Man City would get, Chelsea would get anything from Man City. Like, you know what I mean? I still say that, you know what I mean, Man United are going to have to have a real good day.
Listen, these Manchester derbies, these games, they can go one way. Listen, City could turn up and smash them 4-0 or whatever, 4-1. Well, it could go like that. But also, they're tight games, they're intense. It's a Manchester derby.
You know, City's the next away game after Man United. Do you know they've got?
Tottenham?
Yeah.
Oh, we know what's going to happen there.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Knowing Tottenham, they'll go and win that.
No way, no way.
They do.
Half and half scarves will be on full.
I'll have his Man City shirt on.
I know. That's bad.
So, like,
that's bad that they'd want to lose that so we don't win the title. Well, that's just Tottenham in it. But they do well in that fixture. They do well in that fixture.
They used to lose to Man United on purpose.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, I mean, I got like, listen,
Same here, like.
Man United, like, I've got more faith in Man United doing anything than the next one.
And I'm not ruling out Villa yet, by the way.
No, Villa got Everton, so like,
Everton.
I think that they play Everton on Sunday, so we play. So obviously, Man United, Man City first, then it's us up, and then it's Villa. So.
They're trying to buy Tammy Abrahams, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're going to get him. And I was speaking to the cameraman who was, like that does the camera and all that. I'm right behind him. He's an Aston Villa fan, and they got rid of
it's ex-Arsenal.
Yeah, Chelsea, the cameraman.
Huh?
The cameraman at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you sitting in an interesting position, like right at the front, yeah?
Right at the front, that was a good view, like, yeah. And we're with the cameraman, and he was an Aston Villa fan. And they've got rid of selling him, and they're bringing in Tammy Abrahams, like, for
I don't think you can rule Villa out.
No,
really? No.
They're looking to do bits and pieces Villa all the time. The one thing that he said yesterday that he feels that they're not going to compete is because of the squad.
Yeah.
But if they was to get 2 or 3 in January, they're going to go for it, like, you know what I mean? And listen, if you look at this again, mistakes have been made years and years and years. Man City, our rivals at this moment, have gone in January and gone and got somebody. Villa, looking to do things and all that. Like, it's not Arsenal going to just sit there and let things happen. Big worry if they do.
I'm not saying Villa are just going to roll over and give up their season, but really, and no disrespect to them, but can I really see them going all the way to the end? The season's long, and they've got European football, and
the only other thing with
their squad, I don't think, and can Emery get? This is the problem we had with Emery. Can he get to the
with Villa as well? Like, you know what I mean? This is where you need a little bit of luck in the FA Cup. They've gone Spurs away, right, and now they've gone Newcastle at home. Like, so they haven't been able to rest players like Man City have. Like, and Arsenal, they can't rest 10 players against Newcastle. If they do, they go out.
Yeah.
Man City got Salford, didn't they?
Salford and Exeter they've had, like, you know what I mean? If they put both teams on the same part, City still win. You know what I mean? Like,
Salford's round the corner from them as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Gary Neville will be loving that, won't he?
Mr. Neville.
Mr. Neville. You know what I mean?
Some serious.
What do you make of his comments, by the way, like,
about
on Martinelli?
I thought it was.
I just think he says something for the sake of it and never put his brain in.
I think because the game was so boring, I think it had to be a flashpoint, and that was the highlight. It was a shame that someone nudging someone. He didn't know.
Yeah,
Martinelli.
but come on, what an hypocrite!
Well, exactly, like, you know what I mean?
The Battle of Old Trafford, him and his brother finished Reyes' career.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He did.
No,
Scandalous what they done.
And Keane, another one gets on his sanctimonious high horse. Look at his career. Alfie Haaland.
Yeah.
Do me a favour.
Yeah. No, I felt that was wrong for Gary Neville to say. He hasn't come out and said sorry. Got a bit of stick from the Arsenal fans yesterday, like, as well, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What was he sitting?
I don't know if he was there or not. I don't think he was even there. I think it was Alan Smith doing the commentary, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that's what I thought, yeah.
So I don't even know if he was there, but normally he is, isn't they? So they was sort
getting back to Forest, I don't think it's going to be an awkward game then.
Yeah. Let's have the predictions, like, you know what I mean?
I might upset you, Lee.
Ooh.
I think it could be 1-1.
Oh.
Sorry.
No,
I've just got horrible. It's only horrible. I just think what we're saying is about players like we're overplaying players, resting players. I think, you know what I mean?
I think this is. Look, listen, I think this is a game where I need Arsenal to come out and give me the confidence to say that, you know, we are going to win. Because I think if we was to draw this game or lose this game, it would put us in a real difficult position, like, you know what I mean, going forward. Like, you know, I still look back at the game against Liverpool, didn't think we went for it, you know what I mean. Got to go for this one. I'm with you, Chris. I don't think I've gone 1-0. I don't think it's going to be easy.
Only because of his record against us in the past. You remember when he was at Burnley? He's a right annoyance.
Well, I remember we was going great guns a few seasons back.
I remember that.
Went up to Everton and lost 1-0. I think that was the year we ended up fifth in the like losing at Spurs. But we was on a good run at that time and never looked like we was going. Ended up losing, and that probably cost us Champions League football.
I remember last season when we went up to City Ground, and essentially that's when I knew the title was done. Last season, went up there. I think we drew 0-0. Couldn't break them down. Not a great game.
That was an awful game.
That was when I just knew it was done for me, and I was like, I kept positive hope right until the end, and I was just like, no.
But then on the other end, if he, trouble is Arteta won't do this, but if he was to shake it up a little bit and bring some fresh people in, I'll change me. I might change my opinion.
Yeah, I get that. You know what I mean. So, what changes did you make then?
Well, I'll tell you, I might give Saka a rest.
Really?
Yeah, I thought he got kicked from pillar to post.
Some of the
team selection.
I wouldn't say no to having put in Noni there, and I might give Eze a run in place of Odegaard. Just to, not
freshen it
up. Just freshen it up a little bit.
So what's the team that you'd play against Forest then?
Well, unfortunately, I have to keep the same. No, I don't mean unfortunately, because I've got no options. I'll keep the same back four.
What, as
last
Chelsea?
night?
Yeah.
You take the gamble on Ben White?
Yeah.
Really? Again, no Miles.
I might take him off after 60 minutes and swap it about.
Really?
Midfield, I'll be
So you're not bringing Miles Skelly?
No. Then midfield, I'll take Overmars, Odegaard out.
Probably back for years. I'll stick Overmars on, I'll put Perez and all. And I'll stick Wiltord through the middle.
Yeah. I'll bring Eze in and Noni, and I'll keep Goalkeeper up front.
Okay.
I'm with Chris. I'd keep the same back four. I'd take the gamble. I would take the gamble with Ben White. Same midfield for me.
Yeah.
But I would play Martinelli instead of Trossard.
Yeah, I'll play Martinelli, I think, instead of Trossard.
I thought Trossard looked... I don't know if he's injured or what. What's going on with him at the moment?
He did look a bit injured.
You know, with Trossard, he goes... You can always guarantee 3 wonderful performances. But then come about the 4th or 5th, he just tails off a little
Who's that?
Trossard. Then he needs to go on the bench, and then he comes again.
Yeah, that's a great point, Chris. I don't know what it is with him. He's been fantastic for us this season. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know if it is because he's injured or whatever. But that's the second time he's played now, and I just thought he was just off the pace.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean,
No, I don't know if he if he is carrying a little knock on all that or whatever But I thought when Martinelli come on, he showed little bits. I don't know. You know what I mean? I do worry about freshening it up a little bit. But
when I talk about Martinelli, I always think about what you say about him, especially those headers he got at Portsmouth. I'd love to try him out as a number 9.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But then again, you've got so many options up there now, you know what I mean? So I think at the end of the day, I liked him when he came on yesterday. He showed a lot of... there was one move, and when the ball went back to him and he had the shot on the edge of the box, it was a great block. You know what I mean? I don't know about you, but I do think we're playing a little bit better freedom football-wise now. So, listen, keep it tight in the back and see if we can win.
We are playing more free-flowing football, but I think it's costing us a little bit at the back.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Goals. We're
can't win, I'll tell you, can you?
Yeah.
What are you going for before we close?
What, for the prediction or team?
Prediction. Well, what team you got?
So, I would put Raya in goal, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel and Miles Lewis, Skelly. If it ain't working, I'd switch it up and bring Ben White on. I go with the midfield of last night: Odegaard, Rice, Mendy, Saka, Martinelli, and Gyökeres. Yeah, that's how I'd start it, and then change
just
it.
a couple of
I'd like to
changes.
see Havertz come on again, bring him on, and Marino.
I'd like to see Havertz come on, but if he comes on, it's up front or not at all.
They got their two centre halves are quite physical, aren't they?
I like that the way that we had the physical stuff, and then Jesus comes. I think that's complemented us pretty well. Then he comes on with a little bit more trickery and all that, So
But I'm going 2-1.
2-1.
Going 2-1.
So it's going to be a tight game.
I like the 1-0. I do like it's either 2-1 or 1-0, but I've got to pick one. So I'll edge you 2-1. I think there could be a goal in it. We might go 1-0 up. They might level, and then we might nick a winner. Away from home, we have struggled a little bit, but I think ultimately we'll be too strong. If we can't beat this Nottingham Forest, it's not the Nottingham Forest of last season or the season before. I mean, season before they were much better. We need to, and this will be the difference: going there and getting a result, and then we kick on.
We need to get out. Obviously, we'll be back after the Inter Milan game as well. So let's just have a quick little thing. What do you think? Loads of changes against Inter Milan.
Yeah, loads of changes, Lee. And does the result matter? Well, I suppose in football, you don't want to lose.
When you go there, I want to go
embarrassed.
there and win. But like, at the end of the
I'll
day,
take a 0-0.
Yeah. I'm not. I want to go over there and win, but if we don't, I'm not going to be like, I won't lose no sleep over it. Put it that way.
If I was honest with you, if there was, if there was any game to lose, it would be,
They need to win that, by the way,
Yeah, they do.
to keep their chances going. So I think that.
I think we've got United at the weekend, haven't we? After that, that's a huge. That you need to, and then we've got Leeds after it at Ellen Road. That's going to be a tough game. So you've got to take your opportunities to rest players and make changes, and you've got to think about the important games, and you've got to think about keeping this squad.
We went there last season and got done 1-0. Unluckily, really, I'd like to get a little bit of payback on that, but I think at the end of the day, I don't think I'm going 2-0 Inter.
You're going what?
2-0 Inter.
Well, we are.
Really? 2-0 Inter, yeah. Wow.
Well, they're a very good team.
So 0-0.
0-0.
Yeah, just go 0-0.
I'll take a 0-0 then. We'll take a 0-0.
Do you know what? Even the players you rotate with, I think it's still a decent
I'm worried
side.
about that back four. I think I think you're gonna have to bring one of the youngsters in there. You can't Norgard will have to playing it
That Salmon boy's only 16. We did well at Pomps before, but you're asking, that's a lot to ask.
It's a lot to ask, but you don't want to be playing Saliba and Gabriel week in, week out.
Or put Marino in there with Norgard. I know it sounds mad, put Marino and Norgard there. But Lewis Skelly at left and then right back. I mean, Salmon could be a shout. You don't want to be Saliba and Gabriel. We need them. We need them for this League Cup. We need them for the the Premier League.
Got to get Mosquera back as soon as possible, Mikel. You got to get it sorted, get him scanned,
by game.
Get him back.
Just get it done.
Get it done.
So
or whatever. Something's got to be done.
The bottom line is it's all down to fitness, physios, injuries. And that's the story of Arsenal FC, isn't it?
Yeah, and that is Well, we'll leave it on that happy note, what I mean?
Happy note.
Yeah, I think you two need to go and get some physio. We've got a couple of difficult away games to get over, but if we can get over these, negotiate Nottingham Forest, get through Inter Milan, Man United. Listen, we'll be back next week to preview the Man United game. I think at the end of the day, take it one game at a time. Let's try and get the result against Forest, and we'll go from there. And you'll get the big AFTV injury update next week.
We'll get that.
We'll find out.
We'll know if we're fine back there. Chris, Marty, thanks for joining us today. This has been the Invincible podcast. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.